Hey everybody, it's Brandon, and I am proud to be here with the legendary Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. We're coming to you from the Atlanta Symphony Hall. Guys, how we doing tonight?
Doing really good.
Doing good.
All right. We're here with Scotty, lead vocal.
Yeah, Scotty Morris, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, lead vocalist, singer-songwriter.
We're with Glenn, the kid, trumpet.
I'm Glenn the Kid Marhefka, play trumpet.
Now guys, a lot of folks don't realize, but you guys have been around for quite a while. Was it late 80s, early 90s when you guys started?
Yeah, I started putting the band together in late 80s, like 89 or so, and I just graduated from music school in Los Angeles, and I met Kurt, our drummer, and we started messing around with ideas, and I had this idea of the big picture of what I wanted Big Bad Voodoo Daddy to be, but it took about 3 years to get it together before we really started to do what we were doing now. So we had incarnates of the band, which was a three-piece, but I was always trying to find horn players and just sort of the right personalities, because with us, it's about the hang, it's about the friendship, it's about that whole thing, as much as it is about the music, really. I mean, truly.
You guys really burst onto the scene, of course, with your appearance in Swingers, 1996, Vince Vaughn, Jon Favreau. Now, how did that come about? Did you know those guys ahead of time, or did they approach you guys to be in the movie? How did that happen?
We had been playing at the Derby in Los Angeles every Wednesday night for, about 2 or 3 years at that point. And Jon Favreau was there pretty much every single Wednesday night, and, Vince and all those guys. And it was just sort of an underground scene kind of thing in Los Angeles. And we'd been playing there every Wednesday night, and then finally, at one point, I think John handed Scotty a script and said, "Hey, we're doing this movie, and we want you guys to be in it. You're my favorite band. I want you to be in this movie." And gave the script to Scotty, and then I think Scotty just threw it into the van or something like that, and I don't even know if he ever read it. And then we came back the next Wednesday, and he's like, "Hey, man, did you check it out?" And Scott's like, "Yeah, man, we're in. We'll do it." So we ended up shooting this movie, and I personally still had no idea what the movie was or about. I knew it was called Swingers, and I was thinking, it's some movie about maybe swing dancing or something. And then we did it. It was like an all-day thing, and then they filmed our live performance at night. And then we kind of forgot about it for a little while, and we were just traveling up and down the West Coast doing all our shows. And then they were having a screening of the movie in LA. So I remember we were playing in like San Francisco or Sacramento or something. We drove all the way back down after the show to LA for the movie premiere, and we went and saw this movie, and it was like, it blew me away. I was completely blown away. It was a great movie. And the rest sort of just fell into place. That the next day, I think John called Scotty and said, "Hey man, we sold this movie to Miramax. It's going to come out in like 6 months." And sure enough, it came out, and the rest is sort of history with that movie.
With that movie, their careers blew up, you guys' career blew up, and you guys, after that, you were no stranger to the national spotlight. You played numerous shows, TV shows, you played late night shows, you even did a Super Bowl halftime show. Now recently, I know you guys performed on Dancing with the Stars. That had to have been a blast for you guys. How was that?
That was really fun, actually, because we were going back to the Derby. Favreau and myself were really good friends at that point, before I even knew anything about Swingers, and he actually used to go and dance with my girlfriend all night long, because she's an incredible dancer. So, and we're still together, and she makes me watch Dancing with the Stars. Like, if I'm gonna spend time with her on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or whatever days it's on, it's like I gotta sit and watch that show. And this started about 2 or 3 years ago, and I started digging it, man. I started liking the show. I like the competition. I like the stars. I like the guys that just go out there and go for it. So I was a fan of the show. These guys, all of the guys in the band were like, "I have no idea about this show. Is this a good idea?" And I'm like, "This is a great idea. Everyone loves this show." They actually approached us last year to do it also, but we wanted to wait until the new record was going to come out so we could kind of promote what we're doing, because we don't get played on the radio or things like that. We just basically do it. We just play, and whatever happens comes to us. We don't really go out looking for anything. We just do what we do. And it was insane, man. Doing that show was so much fun, because all the people that I knew who were big stars of the show, the people that were the dancers, they were coming up to me going, "Dude, I won the world championship to your song, Mr. Pinstripe Suit." And little Juliana Huff is like the cutest thing on the planet, comes walking up to me. She goes, "Oh my God, when I see your music's up, we all try to fight for it. You guys are the coolest band." And we're just like, wow, I was dumbfounded, man. I got thinking to myself, I sit on my couch and watch you guys, man. This is awesome. I'm a fan.
Now, you guys, of course, you performed Calloway Boogie, which is going to be on the new album, How Big Can You Get? And that's going to be out in just a few days. You guys are actually playing Leno this coming up, the Tonight Show, this coming up week to promote it. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the new album? What can we expect from it? Any kind of new stuff, or is it just the same old good Big Bad Voodoo Daddy that's made you who you are today?
It's music of Cab Calloway. The record is Cab Calloway became famous in 31 and basically went from 1931 all the way up until 94, being pretty much one of the only guys that held bands together in the whole 9 yards. And it's his music, it's our spin on his music.
The new album, it's just, I think it's great. It's a little different for us because we're recording somebody else's music for the first time. But Cab Calloway has been a huge hero and influence on this band since day one. I mean, we've been playing the song Minnie the Moocher live from day one of the band, and we do it pretty much every night. And I know for Scotty, he's been a huge influence. Myself too. My parents took me to see him perform when I was in 7th grade, and I went to a Cab Calloway show, and I remember he had a whole big band behind him. It was actually at Disneyland, of all places, at the Carnation Plaza, and he had a whole big band. And I'd been playing trumpet for a few years at that point, and I remember I had no idea who he was, and my parents dragged me over there, and I saw this band, and I saw this crazy guy singing, and I always remember that to this day. Like, it really influenced me as far as wanting to play trumpet and just the excitement of hearing that whole big band with this guy singing out front. So it's always been in my mind, like, how cool that night was. I've never forgotten that all these years, and it's really a big influence. And then playing in the band and doing Minnie the Moocher for all these years, and Scotty having him as such an influence, I think for me it's been really cool. It's like, it's amazing that it all sort of has tied together, and now we're doing this album of his music, and it's really fun, exciting, uplifting music, and it's great. People love to dance to it, they love to listen to it, and I just think it's really fun to kind of do sort of high energy recordings in our sort of style or so, or we try to make it sound like ourselves, but do his music, and I think it fit this band really great, and I think the people are really going to like this album a lot.
Now, you talked about you've done the symphony scene, I guess you could say, kind of all over the country. Where are some of the other places that you've done it besides Atlanta?
We've done just about everywhere. I mean, all the major symphonies in America. We've done them in Toronto, Los Angeles, Houston, Atlanta, Ohio. Pittsburgh, everywhere. All the Oklahoma City, all the big ones. And so it's been pretty interesting. We started off doing it with the U.S. Air Force. They hired us to come out and play with them about, I want to say probably like 8 or 9 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And we started doing it back then, and that's what really started the whole thing off for us doing this. Atlanta's a great one. We've worked here several times. We've done this hall 3 or 4 nights. We've done Chastain 3 or 4 nights. And it's great because the conductor, Michael Krzyzewski, is your guys' Pop's conductor, and he does a lot of other ones. And we worked with him all over the country, and he's incredible. He just whips it right into shape, and it's great. Yeah, because when it's playing with a band like us, we're together, we play so much, it's like driving a fast sports car. But when you play with a symphony, it's like driving a big luxury liner, man. You gotta prepare to stop, man. So it's cool to have somebody in the driver's seat that gets what we're doing.
All right, well, guys, that all sounds great. Thank you so much. For all those people watching, check these guys out, bbvd.com. That's the official website of Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. You got to check out the schedule, see when they're playing near you. Got to see these guys live. It's amazing. Guys, good luck with the new album, and good luck with the show tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks a lot.